The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Action.
Yo. So yeah, last minute live show. I'll see how much I can do today. Get a couple hours in at least. Just cover up some loose ends and updates since the last live show. Jasper, how's it going? So you're here for 1 to 2 hours. Fair enough. So I've been pretty busy doing research, trying to figure out stuff with flares and figure out why we couldn't find the experimental airship on Plane Finder. So I'll go over all that. So yes, no wonder I had trouble, but we'll just go over all that I found out. Where's the other thing gone? Right here. Was it not pasting? Alright, it's just slow. That's there now, is it? No, a bit slow still. Pin, there we go. I'll do it on that one. Yeah, try and keep it professional. Try and not do too much drama. Although doing an occasional rant is quite healthy in this field, especially when you get attacked, right? And people let you down, right? I think this field's always not going to change. I think there's always going to be people trying to make money out of it, including mainstream media, of course. The journos, they clearly don't do any investigation. They just copy and paste, right? They just take it from a main article and then they all get permission to copy it and then paste it around. It's a bit like what YouTubers do, like GUFON does, gets permission or whatever, and plays the clips on the show because they don't want to keep being in court debating fair use, like we have to do on YouTube. I don't know, the law is crazy. It needs to be sorted out there, what fair use is, and if you follow those guidelines then you should be exempt from them rejecting it and taking all your money. So at the moment the problem with Google is if someone puts a copyright claim on it, they can take control of the whole video. Even if it's a 10-second clip on a 5-hour live stream, they get all the money. Now, to me, that's wrong. It should be like a percentage, right? Which I'd be happy with. If I use someone's clip in there and it was 1 minute out of my 5-hour stream. They should get whatever it is, 0.001% of the earnings. They shouldn't get it all, and they shouldn't be able to control placing ads on your live show then, because they get control of the whole episode. They can put the ads anywhere they want to, and then they can also exclude it from various countries. And that happens with when you use Discovery Channel clips. Even if it's a few seconds long, they can ban it from all the world. They can get all the money and then click ban it from all the worlds, and even only you can see the episode. So the way Google does things is totally unfair, and it favors the copyright owner more than it should. So yeah. Yep, I've been there that day and I thought the same. Some type of, what's that one? Cephirus. Alright, so yeah, we better kick off the show. What have I forgotten? I feel like I've forgotten something. Side comments are up. Oh, well, just carry on. So, where did we begin? That's a good question. As you can see, I clicked a lot of tabs here. So let's start off with the flares, I guess. So where does that start? I still have yet to get back to that plasma stuff in that one. So we'll start off with the flares. So looks like Mick West did some searching, or someone helped him out, talking about the Corbell flares thing, which Corbell's still doubling down on and still saying it's possibly a craft in the sky, but they haven't ruled out researching still, even though they spent 2 years researching it and we spent less than 2 hours on it and solved it. This shows you that there's obviously clearly disinformation going on there and money grab, right? And I don't know why people put up with that. There's still people there debating whether it's flares or not, even though we got example of the army video of them training, and the boot camp, or whatever you want to call it, army brat camp, filming it on a smartphone and match the frames exactly, right? Anyway, that new debate is that flares don't burn for 10 minutes, and Corbell's saying that he's got a video that shows it burning for 10 minutes. Well, let's just go over all that and see if we can debunk that claim as well. So Mick West here, some of the flares descend at 4 feet per second on parachutes. They want to be aloft for a while. So basically what they're saying is, if they're illumination flares, they want them to be up in the air above the battleground longer, so it illuminates the ground for the troops. So they're for illumination on an area, and he's given us one here, LUU-19B/B, and the burn time is 7 minutes. So I thought, well, if there's 7-minute ones, why can't there be 10-minute ones or longer? And I guess that means that the container would have to be bigger and heavier, which means they'll come down faster again. So there are 2 types they use, I found out. So carrying on, we'll get to the information. Mick West did more analysis on those flares. Turns out this one here, which we thought may have been a Photoshop by Corbell using the smartphone, images, because at the start it was a wee bit like that, wasn't it? Turns out to be that they've actually got 2 photographs. Now, he found it on Reddit, I think. What's it say here? 2 time-stamped original photographs of the 29 Palms UFO over 19 seconds show a distinct descent from, what does it say there? And he's got a timestamp to another timestamp. So what's that? 19 seconds. Yeah, okay. Overlaid much later image shows a massive descent. So he's joined the 2 images together and shows they have moved. So this is the one where we got a ground reference, unlike the smartphone one. Proves that they're going roughly straight down, give or take minor drift, which suggests flares again, right? So let's have a look at this closer. Now, we've got a power line here that he aligned. Looks like the person stepped. Did he step sideways when he took the other photograph? Must have done. Maybe to get away from the power line here. How come it doesn't keep on going though? You can see that one keeps on going. This shows that power lines can disappear, I guess, depending on the illumination. So that photograph there doesn't show this line going across. But when he took the other photograph, looks like we've got light this side that illuminated that one there. He's lined it up with the barracks here. So I wonder why. Maybe one he took without the flash, I don't know, and the other one had a flash on, illuminated the wire a wee bit better, but wouldn't have changed it in the background because these objects are too far away. Does it look brighter? There's certainly more light here, so that could be the reason. Maybe someone's got a handheld torch there. But anyway, it looks fairly legit then. But how did they get a pitch black night to look like that? It looks like colour night vision almost. So it would be good to get the Reddit link, I guess, and actually have a look, see if they've got any camera information. Because it wasn't like that in the other videos, it was totally black. Does it look like colour night vision though? Not sure if you get browns that good. I suppose you would. Just trying to think of my backyard with the fence. That shows up the brown fence okay, and the yellow's alright. And it does show up blue skies alright, if there's enough light. Yeah, it's got to be a colour night vision camera. Maybe it's maybe they got a full spectrum camera or a mode on their camera. I'd be interested to know what camera they're using. Have you got a link to where you got it from? Metabunk. He's got it on Metabunk. Did I post a link to that? Right. You can see this photograph chops it off at the top. That's where the wire disappeared, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so where's the link? Has he got a link to it? No, it looks like he's put it on Metabunk. So let's just click on that. Where's it going to? Where's it opened up the tab to here? On the end. So I got 2 original photographs with timestamps from Redditor F Melvin 666 attached in zip to preserve EXIF if they were sent via iMessage. But has he told us what camera make it is? Does he post the metadata? Where's the metadata? You could at least oh, here we go. Is this it? So what have we got here? iPhone 11. How can they get a picture like that on an iPhone 11? What was the timestamp here? 8 o'clock at night, is it? Are we reading that? No, 6:30 at night, isn't it? Minus 12 makes it 8. No, 8. What am I talking about? 8:30 almost. So it should be pretty much dark by then, I would have thought. iPhone, does it have a night vision mode or something on it? iPhone. Does it have night vision or something? It's got, talking about it here. See, I'm not a Apple fan because I see that as closed off technology. You can't hack it or anything or make it do whatever you like with it, unlike you can with Android. Night mode automatically turns on when the camera detects low light, so that must have what happened there. Have we got examples of that? Low light. Haven't got an example. I don't think you got that on other phones though, but you might do now. When did 11 come out? 22 last year. So it's fairly modern technology, isn't it? Best night vision apps for iPhone. Is it a safe one? Apple supports. They've probably got copyright and everything. Well, let's just open that one up and just have a quick look. It's probably got music, is it? So we got it muted, that's alright. Turns on automatically. Tap to adjust exposure time, which they probably didn't do, probably. Okay, is that before or after? That's not a very good example, is it? We want examples. We want to learn about the new technology. How do you know it's not been photoshopped and the metadata been edited? I know you can frig metadata. Alright, it's got some hidden tricks here. Keep your night vision sharp with iPhone's hidden red screen. What's that? Looks like we might have to do a lot of reading, unfortunately. Red filter. I don't know why you would do that. Holy moly. Use LED flash alerts. Who cares about that? Okay, yeah. You think something's so simple, it's always trying to sell you something. Oh yeah, we've got a before and after ones here, have we? Let's have a look. iPhone 11 Pro. So yeah, you can see it's very black here, like we got on the other smartphone, and you can see here it does lighten it up with the more of the blue sky there. So maybe that's it, huh? There's another one here, very black. Can hardly see the boats, and then so it must have some really clever firmware in the iPhone. Looks like they spend a lot of time making sure the camera technology on the iPhone is up with the best, right? So they must have some sort of electronic filter as well in the camera, and other sensors. Obviously, the sensors to detect the light better. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, you can see it's very black, and look, looks like it shows up the sky blue. There's certainly greens and yellows there, and the fence browns. So it sort of matches up. Here's one that's totally black. Yeah, at least it's improved that a wee bit there. A completely black scene. It almost reminds me of that smartphone one we were watching. Yeah, looks like some water there. And probably a river or something. I'm not going to zoom in too much just to check it. What's this one? Moto G styles. Yeah, it sort of looks like more vibrant colours here. So which one's night vision though? No, you can see the stars in that one. Can't see it in that one. iPhone Pixel. What's Pixel? Is that one of the older phones? Yeah, you can see it's very black, and then it's more blue. So they must be using some special filters. It's not really, I suppose, because sensors are now so sensitive to low light. Just using the right filters, like my camera out the back for sky watching, it looks very similar. It's very clever. I haven't got that on any of my Android phones. Not even this Sony one I've got. But it is a bit older phone than, I think, 2018, I think it is. Anyway, better move on. So, yep, McWest confirmed it hadn't been photoshopped, but this stuff here relied on metadata. I'm pretty sure you can fake metadata. Let's just do a check on that. Can you... People rely on metadata too much. Can you fake metadata of images? Be changed or faked. Okay, let's see what it says here. There might be some part of the metadata that can't be changed, you see, and they might be able to detect it. Something that we should have really looked into. Many people don't know this, but the EXIF data that is included with an image contains lots of information on location, date, camera type, and much more. I wish videos would have all that too. EXIF data can be changed, added or removed with third-party software. Many free programs that can change EXIF data. If a photo did not come from a trusted source, then do not trust the EXIF data. See what I mean? Can you tell if it's been modified? That's where you want to go. The only way you can tell if the EXIF data is modified is by an evaluation of it as a whole. This is what I was saying. This includes things, I suppose this applies to deep fake technology, right? Does the location data match the context of the photo? If its coordinates are from Sahara and the image contains a lush jungle, green jungle, then obviously it has been modified. However, most cases are not so simple indeed. No one would be that stupid. Instead, if it often involves looking for identifying structures in the photo and matching them to the GPS coordinates. Do the aperture, exposure, zoom and flash settings match the photo? You need some expertise in photography to really analyze this data, but it can be a good giveaway. Experienced photographers may be able to tell that the lighting and exposure in an image don't match the EXIF data. Yeah, but what if you don't modify that part? You could just change the camera phone make though, couldn't you? Is the phone or camera capable of settings in the EXIF data? EXIF claims it was taken on a smartphone, but the phone is incapable of an aperture or resolution of the photograph was taken. Then there's obviously some modification happening. So you'd have to look at all the camera specs and look at the size of the image. But even that could be, most of the phones nowadays have the same image pixel ranges though. Is the photo missing crucial EXIF data? This can be the simplest and easiest way to tell. Yeah, missing data is normally the one where it's been edited on Photoshop and they save it back. But then you can edit it to make it back into a fine model. If a photo has no EXIF data, that means it was likely scrubbed at some point. Some people do this for privacy reasons, but it's still a clear sign of modification. So when people take a snapshot of their screen on the smartphone and send it onto MUFON, they know straight away that it's not the original image. That means they could have applied tricks to the image. You know, you get those ones that puts fake UFOs on. So yeah, I guess you'd probably have to reject someone submitting one that's got just a screen snapshot and ask them to resend the original photograph, and if they ain't got it, then there's not much you can do with that case. You just have to speak polite and say, sorry, I'm not going to waste my time on that. There's no reason why you would need to snap the screen though. I think some people don't know how to use a computer. They only know how to use a smartphone, and they play a video and then they take a screen grab of it, like a frame grab, and then they zoom in and the little tiny dots on the screen to make it more visible, and they send it into MUFON and stuff with the video, which is fine because that means MUFON have got the original video, right? What are some programs that allow you to change EXIF data? Well, probably better Google that and find lots of them. EXIF Purge is easy to use. Photos EXIF Editor. Metadata ++. Fast tone image viewer. Okay, so there we go. But yeah, Photos are different than video though. Okay, so what was... can you fake metadata on videos? Using metadata to prove the reliability and validness of a footage can be discarded. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Many metadata editors can edit a limited scope of video file metadata. Many times you won't be able to edit the date and time of the file. With the EXIF data changer, you will be able to correct your dates and times quickly and with ease. So you'd have to edit the created time and all that on the PC side of things, or because there's a file system stamp and there's also internal timestamp in the actual video, right? Let's see. What EXIF metadata. I can't remember what it stands for now. I should probably look it up. What is EXIF? Let's just look that up. Exchangeable image file format. There you go. A bit of a mouthful. What EXIF data in a video? I think there's more in the it depends on the container. Now they can even have GPS added to videos. MKV format, the container, can store a lot of other information in that one file, but MP4 I think is a bit limited. Even photos and videos taken with a smartphone will have some EXIF information. InfraView is an image viewer and can be used to view and edit EXIF data. Oh, I got that. I haven't played around much with that. This includes information such as time, date, shooting mode, resolution, height. So yeah, there's less information. It doesn't have the model probably. Data and video. GIF, camera make. I don't think camera make is one of them. Well, not always anyway. A model of device that was captured on. I reckon it's here. Might have to look more into that and do some test runs of that with various videos. I might try the InfraView. Viewer for camera EXIF tool. That's the one I got. Well, I had working on the older laptop. I don't know if I tried it on this one since I've updated. Because remember, MUFON stuffed up us looking over videos and downloading them, and I was using that to check the EXIF format, the metadata. But I haven't done that in a while because I mucked it up, and now we can't really use it because it's gone. Taking it down, UFO Stalker, and MUFON database you can only search the last 20 added records publicly, or buy what is it, $10 a month access or something ridiculous. As if I got like $20 New Zealand to waste when I probably only use it once in a while, you know. It should be pay $10 for a year access and you get maybe 10 lookups a month or something, you know. It should be something like that. Then more people would buy it probably. Yeah, so just move on as we spend too long on that. We have to probably, like I said, we'll do a test run on that and see what EXIF data we can get from various videos. It'll be an interesting thing to try. But anyway, obviously Mix believes it hasn't been modified here. So, yep. So he's debunked it another way there, basically. You're still the only one here, Jasper. Yeah, this is what happens when it just shows you the loyalty you have in ufology. There's no reason that Gabba couldn't come along. And 18 Worlds and all those other ones that had a disagreement with me be the bigger man, you know. But anyway, look all the stuff they could be learning. You know, I've got plenty of information here that I've done some research on that I'm going to present today, as long as I don't run out of time. So yeah, McWest's done that one. I'll post a link to it in case you want to go over it all. What we got? Flares. Yeah, that's the main thing that counts, isn't it, Jazz? You're here. Working on a video. Are you mucking around with the EXIF data? Mick, new debunk on flares. And guess what? He did the one like I did. Took the from the smartphone footage, which is black, obviously not on an iPhone, because it's not using the color night vision. I guess, unless it doesn't work with video, which would be strange if it didn't. The 29 Palms UFO video number 2 stabilized. Oh, right, actually, what he did here, he actually did do the one like mine, but still wasn't as good as what I did. I don't think I've got a link to it here, but this one he overlaid all the images and played them in sequence, so they pretty much overlaid to see if they stayed in the same locations. So we'll just play this one, and there you go. You can see they're flickering and they're changing space in between. And if that was a craft, you know, that's all Corbell had to do is rip all the image frames as pings, and then just overlay it like that. And you can see, even on that smartphone footage, you can see that they're not solid lights on a craft like you get on a plane, unless it's a rubber UFO. And of course, some hardcore believers are going to say, yeah, that's still a craft. It's designed to be like jelly and come through portals. But you never win, because once a believer, always a believer, right? Rather than being more selective in what you believe, UFO people tend to believe everything, which is pretty sad. And that's why they give money to people like Hoaxer Security Team and Hoaxers Brent and Blake Cousins. You did actually do another one like mine. I don't know if it's here. Doesn't look like it's in the comments there, but I know I have seen it. But he didn't re-pin it to his feed like I do. I normally do a retweet, so if it's like a reply to reply. If you do a retweet, it puts it back on your feed in the top layer, so it's easy to find it. People ask me, why you keep retweeting your own tweets? Well, it makes it easy to find that later on. They don't understand how Twitter is pretty gungy like that. Next, third flares debunk. So those two ones alone does prove that it's flares, right? It shouldn't have to be going on for weeks and weeks debating this. It's stupid. So, looking up the information on flares, right? So let's just have a look at this. So it's talking about the two types of flares that military use. The LUU-20 goes back to at least 2010, if not longer. And the LUU-19, 2012, I think. And if we look at the technical specs on it, so it's like a tube, igniter, has a timer, setter. I wonder if it can be turned off once it's burning. I suppose there's no reason why it can't be, right? You just have to... I suppose it's got the compound that it burns, though, would have oxygen in it. So even if you shut off air to it, it's still going to burn. So yeah, maybe you can't turn it off once it's going. Unless it's got some dowser. Like if you only wanted to burn for 2 minutes instead of the whole 7 minutes. But obviously you can make the timer come on later. So you could drop 2 sets, right, of these 7-minute ones. And the burn time, total burn time between the 2 sets will be 14 minutes, right? So this is another what could happen. They could have dropped 2 sets, one slightly further up, because notice when I did analysis I said it looks like another parachute above that's not actually lit up. So they may have had another row of 5 above the ones that are lit and timed, so when those ones go out the other ones turn on, and it looks like the same thing. And here they're shooting out the parachute, talking about some technical thing. So we got the 19 go up to 5,000 feet, is it? We got the chart here. So the LUU dash not 20 dash 2D/B give off 1 million looms, 1 million candles. I'm not sure that turns out to be looms or not. So that's pretty bright, isn't it? So if you put 1 million candles lit in a room, that's going to be pretty bright. Well, this other one, LUU-19, only gives off 1,300 candles. So that would explain why it's not so light on that smartphone footage. But the bonus of this one is that it also gives off 1,000 watts per SE of infrared. So these new kind are designed to be less visible in the sky, which they were, but with night vision goggles on, illuminates the ground quite well as it's coming down. So yeah, has it got a date when they were made there? Can't see it. Unfortunately my eyes are still a wee bit thing. So the original ones that don't have any infrared illumination were 4 minutes, but most people online say it's actually 4.5 minutes to 5 minutes. So why would there be a slight change in that? I don't know. Maybe they rounded it down. And does that mean that this one here could be up to 8 minutes, if that one can be up to 5 minutes? So that's getting close to the 10-minute mark, right? So could the people that said it was filmed for 10 minutes could be wrong? So yeah, if Corbell released the full 10-minute video, then we could analyze it, right? But he's only released about 2 minutes of footage in 30-second chunks, if you remember. So everybody's saying, why don't you just release it all? So the million candle one, max descent during burn, can fall down 2,000 feet in that time that burns, and the other one can do 2.5 times that, 5,000 feet. So the parachute descent is actually 4 feet per second opposed to 8 feet per second. So obviously these are heavier canisters with more chemical in it to be able to burn 1 million candles, right? Where the newer ones, well, the other ones where they want infrared mixed in, obviously going to be smaller canisters. I wonder if it's got here. Although it's saying here it's the same dimensions, maybe it's got less in it, so it's not so heavy. Where's the weight? Has it got weight? No, it's saying the same weight. It's saying it's the same thing here, so that's kind of strange. Has it got a bigger parachute perhaps? So yeah, so that's the tricky bit, is going through all the technical information, right, and trying to suss it out. And of course, as we just seen, it hasn't got all the information there. I'll post a link to those 2 flares. So we know there's no flares that burn greater than maybe 8 minutes. So we now know that there's no parachute flares, I should say. So we got LUU-2, and then the newer ones are LUU-19. And the other numbers after it, I guess, must say whether it's got regular light or infrared light, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't sort of make that clear, does it? Does it? I think it might do on the other links I found. Let's just keep on going. Okay, so I found this one here. It's quite hard finding military information online. So what's it say here? 36 pounds. I think that was the same as the other one. Let's see. The 2 flares are identical in form, fit, and function. I suppose that's so they don't have to be. So it goes in the same launcher, right? Except the LUU-19 provides a near-infrared illumination requiring night vision equipment to detect. Well, we found that that's not entirely true. It's almost invisible. This enables its use in covert target illumination and rescue operations. Consists of 4 major components: parachute, igniter, assembly. What else we got here? Timer consists of mechanical timer. I wonder why they use mechanical. I suppose it's less likely to go wrong than electronics that could get knocked out by EMF wave, EMP wave, I mean. A pulse. The decal has a safe position and timer settings from 200 minimum feet to 11,000 feet. So they can be dropped from 11,000 feet maximum by the looks of it. Or does it mean that it turns on at 11,000 feet all the way down to 200 feet, depending on what you set it to? Is that what it's saying there? That's another thing, interpreting what they're saying here. So it could be dropped from 30,000 feet and the timer will turn it on when it hits 11,000 feet, I guess. So those feet are full here. So I guess that's probably what it means. So as you can see, there's a lot of information here. But it doesn't talk about whether you can see it with your eyes. And that's sort of misleading. When it's saying infrared and need goggles, then you shouldn't be able to see it with your eyes, because people were seeing it with their eyes and filming it with smartphones. So I've kept on looking, and I found this one here also about UFOs. YouTubers film what may have been nighttime special operations training near Area 51. Sounds very similar, doesn't it, to the Corbell one? And I don't know if it's the same video. This is posted on December 2nd, 2020. We've got the same sort of mountain range happening there. And again, this one's got 4 lights, which seem to be on long exposure, and so we get movement and we get streaks instead of dots, and you can see other ones dropped up here as well. So Nevada Test and Training Range, north of Nellis Air Force Base. It's always good when you can get other examples, right? There you go, they talk about using those LUU-19 infrared airdropped illumination flares. So there's a picture of them just going into evening. You can see they're not quite invisible, if that's the case. They're used worldwide and provides covert illumination in the near infrared spectrum. Diameter of 6,000 meters for 7 minutes. There you go. Plus or minus 30 seconds, I would say. The flares are almost invisible to the naked eye. Almost. See, this one's at least more accurate. But viewed through night vision goggles or infrared surveillance and targeting cameras, they create an incredible amount of infrared illumination. So yeah, at least they said you can actually see it with naked eyes still. And of course the smartphone has overexposure and all that, and we'll see it better on the smartphone. Maybe. Because their eyes are pretty amazing, really. The ISO on them, what low light we can see at night time when we get adjusted sight is just amazing. UFO Seekers posted a 20-minute video that shows a series of bright lights at low altitude. Yeah, I don't hear much of that guy anymore. Thank God. He was putting up balloon videos as UFOs. Crazy. Anything else we need to grab from this? At least it's got nice big writing here. Makes it easier for my eyes. So there you go. Night vision for glowing objects. I won't play the video though. This is a video. Probably just a snapshot of the image. I know, it says watch on YouTube. A remote training area may have been used in support of special operations. MQ-9 Reaper drones. So what, we're seeing some type of interest in activity from F-117s being transported on flatbed trucks in the middle of the night. Yeah, that's what they do. Why do it in broad daylight for the enemy to see? To report back to China, Russia. The range occupies 2.9 million acres. That's it. I'll post a link if you want to check out that anyway. So yeah, I was hoping, for example, I suppose really we should maybe play the video and pause it. Let's see. Let's see if we got a nighttime shot. He's got it in green screen there. Yeah. Similar to the army one. I was hoping we're going to get it on smartphone as well. So that doesn't really help us out much. So we keep on looking. Another example of training with flares and details. There we go. Like I said, I did a lot of searching online. So I found this one here, LUU-19 flare test in the daytime. So if we play this, you can see how bright they are in daytime, so you'd expect to see them at nighttime. So I don't know how they say almost invisible to the eye at nighttime, so I suppose it maybe depends on the distance, I guess. So here's a test run. They're using a small plane. What's that, a Piper? And if we skim through, that's how big the flare is in the hand. Taken off. And there's a small plane. Let's just play a wee bit of it. There's no sound by the looks of it. There's a wee bit of sound. And we're going to see it dropped. I think I saw a flash then, coming down now, look. So it's free falling at the moment, and they've got the timer set to come on at a certain altitude probably. Can't see it now. UFO, man, UFO, there it is. When the sunlight catches it. There it is, still falling. Hey, the parachute is finally ejected. Whoa, look at all that smoke. It's very similar to the images that we looked at last time. So you can actually, it's not really bright there from a distance though, is it? But still giving off some light. 1300 candles, they claim on that documentation. And you can see, yeah, it does look like it's coming down 4 feet per second there. It's coming down really, really slow. That's really good, isn't it? So, yeah, if you want to watch that whole thing, I'll post it since we used it. But I wanted one at night time to compare how bright it was. But you can see how very less illuminated than it is the other ones, the LUU-2 test and day. In fact, I wonder if we can actually find the LUU being tested. I didn't bother looking. Be good for a comparison, right? Uh, 19, Legendary 2, that's still going. What is planes at night, army flares. So it turns out the signal flares, distress flares, can burn 10 to 25 minutes or 40 minutes, I think, some of them. So people get mixed up with flares, burn times, and this is where you have to be careful between parachute ones and signal flares. And guess who got it all wrong and is telling his fans that have watched him that Corbells are wrong because they can burn up to 25 minutes? Who do you think would be telling that to his fans without doing any research? GUFON! I've actually got a clip of him saying it, so we'll play it. And so that's the one we just looked at. Maybe have a quick look at this one. Maybe that one shows how bright it is. Short. Yeah, a lot more smoke on that one. Does seem brighter there. A lot brighter, doesn't it? Unfortunately, it's not in the sky. What else we got? Anything? What's this one here? Looks like it's night time. Oh, that one looks like a useless video. Plane at night. See, we don't know which ones they are though. Don't say what type of flare they are. Nella spotters. Yeah, I don't think we've got much here we can compare, but anyway, it did look like that it was probably 10 times brighter on the ground there when it was burning. Okay, and yeah, I got more information on that balloon one in Roswell, so that's coming up. And just to round it up off on the flares, now we know that the burn time is 7 plus or minus half a minute. It couldn't have been burning for 10 minutes unless there was 2 sets dropped, or people got it wrong, or someone's just guessing. And this is why you need the video, and then you can actually work out the exact burn time and when you first see them lit, if you do or not, and how long the video goes for. And this is where you can call out bull crap or disinformation. So,
oh, beaver breath. They can last up to 20.
Oh, I forgot to get rid of the echo. And that's the thing, I knew I had forgotten something at the start of the show, and it was to mute my laptop volume, because it comes back into the mic and you get an echo. Alright, so he's talking about Corbell here, calling disinformation Duro.
No, flares. The flares that they usually drop are 5-minute flares. That's what I've recorded many times. And it's 5 minutes, like almost to the second. When they lit up, I had the stopwatch out.
So despite that table that we read said it was 4 minutes, obviously we know they can burn a wee bit longer than what they claim. So I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe it's not precise in the chemical inside measurement. I don't know. It's kind of strange why they couldn't have a precise reading. I couldn't find any information on why that's the case. But he's saying he's seen them for 5 minutes. Okay, so he might be correct because other people have said so as well. 4 to 5 minutes, what you should say there, I suppose. And the other one should be 7 to 8 minutes.
And at 4 minutes, 58 seconds or so, they flickered out one at a time. It's pretty amazing. They got those things down. But anyway, I want to welcome you to the show. I already started. What am I doing? What is this? Let's do a little roll call. Just a quick roll call. We'll start with Jeanette. Throwing Jeanette, the best of man. That's good. David Wilcox, nod. Jeanette. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jammer Trevor.
I'm just trying
New
to
Andromeda native, gotta say hi.
Just get past this.
Exploring what the full story is. How can... I can't believe John Greenwald is saying this.
Where did I lose the start thing of that about where he's saying they burn longer?
Wrongo, beaver breath. They can last up to 20, 25, maybe even 30 minutes, ding dong.
No, they can't. Only signal flares can.
It's fun.
Signal flares. So yeah, he's calling Corbell ding dong. And he hasn't done any research to check all the burn times. Because he's filmed them for 5 minutes, he can say 5 minutes. Yeah, sure, he's got videos of it lasting 5 minutes. But we know there's ones that last 7 to 8 minutes. And as far as I know, I've not seen any ones burn longer than that in most of the UFO videos where they've used flares out of the coastline, right, over... California, where they're doing practice runs over the sea, Coast Guard flares and all that sort of stuff. Handheld flares can be 40 seconds to 40 minutes, I think it is. Max, maybe you should just call it signal flares. Signal flares, max burn time. Maybe I got the wrong word there though, but I'm not sure. Burn up to 60 seconds there. That's just 15 to 30 minutes on that one. Okay, so this is where he's getting that information from. He's probably done a quick Google search and just claim flares in general can burn up to 30 minutes there, but I'm pretty sure I've seen one that can burn 40 minutes. So this 40 minutes. Let's see. 40. I wanted. Oh. I'm pretty sure 40 is the maximum I was saying, but there might be bigger ones. 40 seconds. District signals. 40 seconds there. I'm pretty sure I've seen 40 minutes. Because it wasn't parachute flares, I didn't pay too much attention. But we know there's definitely 30 minute mentioned already. But there's probably longer ones. Because if you light one and you're out to sea, you want a signal that's going to burn for longer than 40 seconds, wouldn't you? You want one that's going to be lighting up the area for a good hour or more. I think now they've got really bright LED ones, right, that can run off batteries for a long time as well. Flares. Max burn 40 minutes max. Oh, it's coming at 40 minutes there. Must be there somewhere. 40 seconds. Maximum burn 30 minutes here. Air assisted flares. So instead of using oxygen chemicals, what they're saying here is that gets oxygen from the air, I guess. And so they can burn longer. As you know, some flares can actually ignite underwater. You've seen it on certain diving videos, because the chemicals got the oxygen built in. They can burn really hot even underwater and cause it to boil. 5 minutes there. Looks like I'm not going to be able to find it. I'm pretty sure I did say find 30-minute flares there. Let's try 40-minute flares. See what comes up. 2 M4 flares within 40 minutes. That's not what we're after. You'll be flare experts by the end of this. Here we go. What's this one? 1 hour of solar observation followed by 40 minutes. No. Don't know what that's talking about. Between 9 and 40 minutes. Here we go. It's talking about sunspots. No, that's not flares. They're the wrong kind of flares. Talking about flares on the sun. What's this one? With slower rise, 40 minutes. Talking about solar sun again. Yeah, well. Sun again, sun. So that's another problem with searching. Flares in the sun getting mixed together there. So, yeah, we'll just say they can go up, we verified it there up to 30 minutes at least, but there might be other ones out there that can go longer. But yeah, he's wrong, and he's given all the wrong information, right? And he's attacking Corbell with the wrong information. To me, that's just like being stupid, right?
Funny. 2 years, and he still doesn't know how long flares last.
Same
How
as
do you
you,
not
mate.
know if you
18 years. Parachute flares, that's the key here.
Researched that, and it was military in the area for 2 years. How do you not know? How did you not? You didn't look into flares? So now that I know he lied about how long flares last, which is a blatant lie. Everybody knows.
I don't think so. I think, you know, if those flares can burn up to 7 to 8 minutes, then it's quite easily to round it up to 10 minutes by mistake, I guess. That's what I'm thinking, until we see the full video footage.
Right now, I'm telling you. No, flares, the flares that they usually drop are 5.
So if they drop flares that when they come out the barracks, right, it may have been a set of 5 flares burning. They may have seen that and they went out, and then the other ones were dropped and lit up. By adding 2 sets together, you could get 10 minutes as well. But again, we have to see the full footage to see if that actually happens. But clearly, with those video analysis, right, it's 100% flares. Yeah, it's not a kite. It's not a craft, unless it's made of rubber, and it gives off smoke when it flies.
5-minute flares. That's what I've recorded many times. And it's 5 minutes, like almost to the second. When they lit up, I had the stopwatch out. And at 4 minutes, 58 seconds or so, they flickered out one at a time. It's pretty amazing. They got those things down.
So where's your 20-minute burn ones, mate?
But anyway, I want to welcome you to the show. I already started. What am I doing? What is this?
Yeah, but he hasn't questioned Corbells' 10-minute claim right there. Anyway, he doesn't know what he's doing, but yeah, I just wanted to correct that information out there. Anyone that's watching him, now you got the correct information from me. Was there anything else on that one? I think I posted it, didn't I? I think we know enough about flares now. What was that one? Cloak membership. Alright, so turns out that when we were looking up Plane Finder for this Roswell one, I'll just bring up a picture of it. What was it called? Roswell Special Blimp research billing. See what comes up this time. There's a lot of extra words we put in there. I know, Chinese balloon. They're still hooked up on that crap. Special blimp research balloon. You know, actually, I didn't even put Chinese in there. This shows you how biased Google is. So I probably should be using DuckDuckGo. But yeah, we'll see. Alright, it's got the images here of it. Broadband blimp and the atmospheric blimp. So we're looking at this. Cosmiac. Who's that? For high altitude balloon testing. Is that all it says? That's a bit of a letdown. Yeah, we're talking about that case anyway. In that video, remember? Probably I should have used that one there, because that one there has the right, almost the right angle for overland, but yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter now, we know it's that one. So, I was right, it was 6:20 in the morning. So, it turns out someone posted on Reddit what day it was, and it was actually the 17th of May. Remember the video we thought was the 18th of May? When the third phase did it. Just a reminder. They haven't put up anything new here. This one here. We looked at the date on their video. Clearly it was a day after. Yeah, well that's the second video they did, so that's 2 days after the first one. So we had the wrong date of 18th. It was actually filmed on the 17th. And this video was put up on the 18th. But it wouldn't matter anyway, because if we plugged it into Plane Finder, which I can bring up now, it doesn't show up at 6:20 AM. So yeah, I contacted Plane Finder about it. I said this is missing, and here's Roswell, right, which is not far from what was it called, Santa Fe. Where is it? Roswell, Santa Fe up here. because we worked out the hangar for the ship was somewhere down here. But they obviously flew it to Roswell, or they stored it in the hangar there. Remember they talked about the Roswell hangar? So they must have another location down here where they store it. But yeah, so if you plug in 17th of May now, it doesn't come up. Unless they've added it since I complained. Let's just give it a quick check again. Because this is the one I've got able to play back further than 7 days, right? With a membership. And it's the cheapest one. Because I don't use it very often. $30 a year is still wasted money, really. So 6 in the morning would be, because this is in GMT time. Roswell is GMT plus 6. So, and the UT time would be then GMT plus 6, which would be on the other program it would be something like UT time of 12:20 I mean. And on this one, that would be 6 AM 20 there. So if you hit play, we'd expect to see the blimp around here somewhere. And the plane. Well, you can see there's a few planes flying around there. But none with the prop engines on it. So even that's missing. Which is a damn shame. So I did a bit more research, so it looks like they haven't still added it to the map here, unfortunately. Is that a prop one, that one? It's a jet engine one. But that's the right size plane they had. But it wasn't that one. Wasn't that big. You can see, obviously, there's a flight path here, right? Going to the airport up there that we found out. Yeah. Looks like that one's doing a strange zigzag. There was an airport up here, around about here, wasn't it? Oh, there it is there. I guess there's a lot of grouping of planes there. Let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, looks like something there, is it? Maybe not. Whereabouts was it now? It was around about there somewhere. I think I turned off the labels for the airports. Yeah, won't muck around with it anyway, but it's not in plane finder, which is really disappointing. Makes it really hard when I do want to use it, that it hasn't got all the balloons and small planes on it. It's got the big commercial ones. It's alright for that. So I did found out the flight number of it and the plane. So the plane that we saw in the picture was this one here, Beechcraft Super King Air. There you go, it's got the 2 prop motors on the side of it. And it did look like that. Let's see, I've closed it down now. So this is filling in the missing stuff that we didn't get. And showing you why I didn't get it in my searches when I should have. So which one's got the plane on it? Was it that one?
We're going to slow this down.
I want the picture of the plane. Where is it?
So, what there's deal we're looking at right.
I'll just mute it again. They took a photograph, wasn't it? Whereabouts to include it? Oh, there we go. So it's that plane there. 2 prop motors on the side, pointy nose, identical to that one there. So that's what we're looking at. And it didn't come up in Plane Finder even, which is a bit disappointing. So, yeah. And we can get rid of that now. So, whereabouts did I find? I found out the... which one was it now? We got Greenwich time. Alright, so I worked out the time zones using this. So at the moment, it's 5:26 AM over there. GM 00. But DS time, it's coming up to lunchtime. And it's saying it's GMT minus 6 hours difference. It's complicated, I know. So that would be the UTC time as well. But yeah, you got to work out this and work out what your train tracking software time format's using. Flight Radar uses UTC and Plane Finder uses GMT. So you got to be careful of that. Else you're not going to be able to match it up. So that was what I used that for. Then I found out the special registration number is N76FA, and that was up in the sky at almost 6:20 AM to... I thought it was longer than that. 6:23 AM. So they only put it up there for a short time. And it's May the 17th. Roswell. So that's a flight time. That's not very long at all, is it? And... oh no, that's not the special one. This is the plane. Why was it only up in the air for a short time? Takeoff, landing. Was that part of the balloon testing? Maybe they took it up there to monitor the balloon for some reason for 4 minutes. That doesn't sound right, does it? 4-minute flight time. It's kind of crazy. Could you go very far in 4 minutes and then land again? Yeah, well, anyway, there it is there on the... oh, where's it disappear to? I was trying to scroll the page. Now it's... oh, here we go. So it did loops around. So you know that's got to be where they're doing the balloon testing there somewhere. And that was flying around observing it. So that's the plane in the videos. And that's on flight rare. And it also has a playback function here, but it doesn't actually... it's not really a nice map or anything, is it? There you go, look. You can play it on there. Little animation. Didn't stay up very long. Why would it only fly that short distance? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's got other loops here. I just wonder if there's some missing data there. And it's got 2 other loops there. That would make it a longer time. So this is why you got to always check up other software, right? Don't just rely on one software. But Flight Radar 24 does seem the best one, and it's the most expensive. So that's the plane flight on that day. And there's a flight history for it. Let's see, this is on Flight Radar 24. Let's see if that's got more information. It certainly has a lot more information, but guess what? More than 7 days is available if you upgrade. So they don't even give us information on the chart unless you start paying. So this is why I hate these type of applications where they're greedy. If you want more information than that, you got to pay. So that makes it useless. And probably if you play it there, it'll probably work because it's still within 7 days. And there it is there, taken off, and lands at another small airfield by the looks of it. Is that actually playing? Or do we have to push something else on it? Now whereabouts is it there? That's not Roswell, is it? It's in another location now. It might be moving. Is it moving? I don't know. Where's the play button on it? Can't see no play button. At least they got a picture of it. The other ones don't have a picture of it. Here we go. Play button. It's moving now. And then, see, it's much better, Flight Radar, as you can see. A lot better than Flight Aware. Changes it. Why does it change colour there? Altitude change, maybe? It's got a lot more information there. Landed. Alright, so onto the balloon. Serial number, that must be the next one. So the balloon number is N519HB. Now, again, if I bring up Plane Finder and try and search for that, it's not there, as we've just proven anyway. Here you can actually look up the numbers. So if you type in N51, hit the key 51. Have we got any similar? We haven't got the HB one, see? So it's not on their database. Damn it. That's a real bummer. HB, not there. There's a HC now. I've come back one letter. Let's click on that one. No aircraft found. So there we go. Even though it's got listed there, it's obviously been deleted. And the other one was N76FA. And it's got that one listed. But when we go to there, it hasn't got any records for the 17th. So yeah, and there's one there where it's only doing 1 minute and 25. Is it? Or was that 1 hour and 25? Or was that the time as in clock time, like 7:30 in the morning or something. I don't know. So it's a bit confusing, isn't it? So let's play this one here off that plane. I should bring it up on the screen. And it's doing siggy saggies everywhere around Roswell. So yeah, why haven't they got the 17th up there? So maybe it's just for training. Take off and landing, do a UE, come back down. Maybe it wasn't observing the balloon. I don't know, or maybe it was that day. We haven't got the balloon listed, so it's not going to come up on this application. Anyway, it's a good learning experience. Now we know the pitfalls of plane finder versus flight radar. Unless they improve their database, or actually listen to people that send them, this one's missing, can you add it? But I think they have to get permission for some of these to be added onto the database. Maybe there's some incentive for them to use flight radar instead of plane finder, and they won't give them this permission to the competitors. You know how it all works. So let's just close that one down. And this is the balloon registration details. And there's that Roswell one, ROW. On that day, have we got a date here? Distance, actual distance 21 miles it flew. What do we got here? 6:14 AM, 17th of May, Roswell. There you go. And that one says 2 hours and a half, two and a half hours in the air. And we've got the altitude. And then it's funny how it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So it looks to me, looks like they had a problem here, right? They launched it, then brought it back down, had a problem, brought it back down to the ground, fixed it, relaunched it. Which would have been what? Probably 5 minutes later, is it? 1619 went up to 30 odd thousand feet. And then went over an area where they'd started doing sampling of various air currents, temperatures, pollution, or whatever, probably. Well, there you go. That's the information we were after to prove it 100%. And it's got a breakdown up here of the flight time, 6:14 AM to 8:39 AM. Mountain time, is it? So there you go. That's all we had to do is plug it in. If I've managed to find that, which I didn't that day, I gave up looking for it. We may have been able to do a Google search on that number there and found this and prove it was over the area. But anyway, I'll post a link to that because that was the solution. Hey, Gabba, how's it going? So this is the Roswell BLIMP. Not blimps, I'm always on about blimps. Yeah, I just wanted to know why my plane finder didn't pick it up, because I think I did try 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Might have hit it, you see. Yeah, they all do that, as long as they get... these apps only can add commercial flights. Any private ones have to get permission for. So the balloon one is a special private one. They would either have to add it to the database themselves so it can be tracked, or and give permission, or they were approached and said, yeah, you can add it to the application. But Plane Finder probably hasn't been given permission to add it. Same as the small Piper planes and Cessna private ones, you know, the banner planes. Some apps include them and some apps don't. That's another problem when it comes to UFO research. So yeah, so I didn't think anybody was watching now. But I know Steve Cabin said he debunked it in 35 seconds. Well, that you can do as long as you know the actual date and roughly the time it was launched. So he didn't actually show that on his debunk that he put up, how he got that time and date, because as far as I know, it wasn't on the video unless it was on voice, and we didn't actually listen to the voice. But yeah, mistakes happen, you know. If we don't listen to the voice, we might miss the information. I don't think it was on the video itself, right? We had it mostly muted. Maybe we need to turn on caps, maybe, and then all they do is talk crap, though. You know, they don't give us information. So this is the first video they put up. If they know the date and time, they could have easier debunked it in 30 seconds, right? As far as I know, there was no mention of the date and time. Only other researchers posted it on Reddit, I think. That's where Stephen got it from, but I don't know, because he didn't put it in his breakdown video. So yeah, no one else on the side said what the date and time was when I asked, so no one else knew. But if they got this video off the person, or they simply just got it off TikTok and rehashed it, they wouldn't have the date and time either. They just put it up for clicks and views. But yeah, it would have been, you know, if they're real researchers like MUFON, they would have just tracked down the real person, simply asked him on his... He's probably got it up on YouTube somewhere, has he? But they haven't posted the link. As far as I know, they've still got no information there. It might be in the comments somewhere. We only skimmed a few of them. But yeah, I'd like to know where the date and time was sourced from, other than Reddit, which appeared probably a day later, because there's other people like me out there that's looking. But yeah, I was close, probably close to getting the serial number, but I probably just missed it. I think it was on one of the screens and I must have missed it, because my eyes were pretty bad that day. Went a wee bit blurry. They're getting a wee bit blurry now, actually. But I'm probably going to have to wrap up in 15 minutes. But yeah, that one there, I just wanted to update it. Yeah, I didn't see any mention of date and time, so if anyone finds out, let me know. So I'll just wrap up on this one here. You know how they talk about on these movies and videos that International Space Station cuts feed. So I found this article here that actually gives us a lot of information. Internet in space. And it looks like all the other stuff I got here will have to be another day. I don't need that one anymore. Right, yeah. I think we went to this page here, did we? Or we got close to it. But here, if I looked, they actually did have a flight path. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was on this actual page, but we got close to it, and it actually has the number of the registration here somewhere. There it is there. So yeah, I got close to it last time. Stratocat.com, and just random searching. But yeah, I knew I did have a page up with that. That one another day. We'll have to do the rest another day, but yeah, the internet in space. It's a pretty good article here. Talking about the speed of it and limitations of it. Satellite hitches. Of course, the internet they have on the International Space Station is not nearly as fast and delay free as what you have at home. Satellite communications have advantages over wired technologies, such as being available in places where cables cannot be used, obviously, but also challenges. So they have a high ping rate and low speed. Even though the International Space Station is orbiting at the elevation of some 40 kilometers or 250 miles, which we found out last time on the Darcy Weir stuff that we're looking at. The data coverage much longer distance to reach Earth first, and the International Space Station sends the signal upwards to a relay satellite flying as high as 36,000 kilometers. Only from there can it go downward to the ground space communication station. So the total distance covered by data from onboard the ISS and the response signal sent back to it is just short of 150,000 kilometers, or close to 100,000 miles. That takes time. According to NASA employees, data exchange with the ISS has a transmission latency of about half a second, about 20 times that of the average cable connection. So what's that, 5,000 when you do a ping test, and normally at home you get 1 millisecond. Theirs would be like 5,000, is it? Yeah, I think that's, is it 5,000? Anyway, something like that, I think. Was it? No, 500 milliseconds, opposed to 1 milliseconds or 1 to 20 milliseconds at home, depending on how far away the server that you're connecting to. So that's quite a big jump up in slowness there. So what else we got? The same satellite link enables audio and video conferencing with Earth on. So they're saying, even though that's, in addition to that, astronauts need the satellite link available to them for more than just the web. They also use the strings lots of scientific data and video content which their colleagues on the ground broadcast to the internet for users to know, like on board the International Space Station, and the views from it to the mission control. The same satellite enables audio and video conferencing with Earth for the International Space Station residents. As a result, only a small fraction of the bandwidth can be used for tweets and browsing. Moreover, although the satellite's downlink is broad, is as broad as 300 megabits per second. The uplink is limited to 25 megabits per second. In terms of speed, the connection available to the International Space Station is comparable to that of ancient modems. So, megabits, so what's that in, let's do a quick calculations in megabytes. 25 megabits per second to megabytes per second. Have I typed it in? Is equivalent to, convert it to bytes divided by 8. So 3 megabytes per second. That's what it's saying there. While the binary conversion converts to that divided by 2, 3 megabytes per second. So it's got some overhead. That's not too bad, is it? I think that's faster than a modem, isn't it? What are we missing? Mind you, would that be fast enough for video? Like YouTube? Probably not. Anyway, back to the article. Can't spend too long on it. On top of that, the station leaves the satellite coverage zone at intervals. For every 1.5 hours it takes the space station to circle Earth, it may have no coverage at all for up to 15 minutes. Okay, so it's got no coverage. So this is the same link for video, right? And this is why it goes down. Called the International Space Station telemetry data. Is that how you say that? So yeah, reading all this. Data transfer from space stations, sensor values, commands and other information and received on the ground is called telemetry. The purpose of a MIMICS program is to retrieve publicly accessible, and just going down here, signal acquired, signal loss. The International Space transmits telemetry from point and moving antennas. So it's got antennas dishes that have to lock on, right? But like you do with your satellite TV dish, right? But in this case, instead of it being geostationary, they have to get lock on and rotate, I guess. Space, what's that? Space to ground antenna, or S-Gunt, and uses the S-band antenna support assembly at a tracking and data relay satellite TDRS, pronounced T-dress, which then relay the data to the ground station, which forwards the data to NASA. There are 3 groups of TDRS satellites that are in geostationary orbits over the Indian Ocean, Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. There we go. I wonder if we can get it. This page was better looking in white than it was in black. Is there a way to get it? Doesn't show up properly. But we can't read the black writing. How do we change that for a page? That's annoying. They haven't designed their page here to be dark theme. So they've got 3 satellites in a bigger orbit than the International Space Station, right? And you can see here, once it leaves this relay station, so that when they're there, they've got to have the dish. Once they get there, they've got to have the dish lined up to this and constantly track it as they're going over here. But once they get over to this point here, they've got to switch it right around into the other direction to get to this other satellite here, which takes 15 minutes apparently. And then locks on and then goes around, and then they get to here and they've got to do the same thing. So it goes down 3 times in the orbit for 15 minutes, right? Unfortunately, the diagram's not coming up really good here. I'm not sure you can turn it off. That's another thing. Can you turn off that thing for a website? Is there any options to do that? Google Chrome, at the bottom right corner of the page, click settings, dark thing, to quickly disable dark mode. How come it's white there though? Bottom of the page, I don't have anything like that. Maybe that's gone. '23. That's hopeless, isn't it? Should be something up here that you can click to turn it off and on, like a toggle. Probably need to look at little add-ons, add a button there. But because there's none here from what I'm seeing. There is no settings in the lower corner. Unless they're talking about Windows. I don't have that there though. No. Oh well, might have to be add-on. Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, well, I'll see if I can make it. I think we're almost finished here. Yeah, looks like dinner cool bells rung and means I have to go in a minute. Add-on to turn dark mode off. Dang, capsule is on. Dark mode, here we go, super dark mode. Toolbar button says as I toggle on and off. Well, how come? Alright, here we are. This might solve the problem then. I wonder if it's updated though. Super dark mode, dark mode render. How long ago was it updated? 23, it looks pretty current. I suppose we can add it and just give it a test. Another damn thing we have to add in. Probably screw up what I'm doing here probably. Yeah, where's the button? Does it edit on the right click? Exclude from dark mode. Okay, let's see if it works. Exclude from dark mode. Maybe I missed something. Exclude from dark mode. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Reload maybe. Don't work, does it? Too good to be true. You know, you think that Google, or at least Chrome, would add that feature in a right click. Looks like it don't do what it's meant to. Might have to research it. I don't think there's an exclude there now, is there? No. Anyway, keep on going. We just have to put up with it. So what they say here, the three TDRS groups have overlapping coverage area, so there can be continuous data transmission from the spacecraft ideally. However, because there's only one satellite in the TDRS Z group, it is only if utilized during critical operations, space docking to the International Space Station, or during a spacewalk. So during normal operation, the International Space Station will always lose signal over the Indian Ocean, known as the zone of exclusion. Even with all three TDSR's groups operating, the International Space Station will always lose signal during a handover. While the International Space Station travels along its orbit, it passes under the TDRS satellites, which remain roughly stationary over the same point on Earth. So once the International Space Station is getting close to the end of one satellite group, the moving antennas will have to stop pointing at one and will have to swivel all the way forward, which I pointed out on that diagram, acquire the next satellite along the International Space Station orbit. During these swivels, handovers, the antenna will be pointed between satellites and can't transmit information to the ground. So in summary, signal losses will occur primarily every time the International Space Station passes over Indian Ocean for up to 15 minutes until the space station gets into the coverage zone. West satellites it's got here in brackets. Or every time the International Space Station antenna is swiveled to point at the next satellite group after reaching the end of the previous satellite coverage. This loss should only last for no longer than a few minutes. So occasionally a signal will be lost for an extended period of time, a few hours for other reasons, which you haven't sought. And then they've got here in brackets, not aliens, promise. Well, actually, no, he's got a smiley face. So it can be gone down for hours, and they're saying it's not aliens here on this page. So I guess that could be, what other reasons would there be? Power, breakdowns. If it's rotating all the time, obviously in the coldness of space, I suppose there could be other reasons why failure is happening if you do a spacewalk and then swap out the old part and put a new part in, but like doing maintenance on your car, right? So what they're doing is they're trying to, they've been upgrading that. So now they're actually, this year, was it, got in contact with Voyager 2, which is like 14 billion miles away now or something. And now they've got more radio coverage, right? Jasper, Congrats on the blimp pool. Have a great weekend, folks. Okay, Jasper, good night. You said that was about 2 hours, and we're coming up to now. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll post a link to all that. So when you got people saying, "Oh, they cut the feed," well, there are reasons. And if you look at the location where they are on the planet, you better work it out where the relay satellites are, and prove that it wasn't cut because of some space ice or aka UFO. ISS video relay sets. So they're upgrading that now. They can get longer radio transmission with better antennas on Earth and better satellites in space, relay satellites in space. But they're also looking at infrared laser, as we found out on the Darcy Ware one, for faster communication. Instead of using radio, they're trying to use infrared beam in between satellites and space station, I guess. So yeah, let's have to see what comes up. So yeah, internet one, was that on a separate page? I'll post this one here about the internet. There's a lot more information on here that I haven't read out. It's best to go and have a watch of it, read of it. Internet. And I'll say good night. So electric power switches, which is what I was talking about, power to transmit as well as rotate the antennas and all that. Overheating. Cosmic rays, so there might be a solar burst that affects it. And then I talked about Martian internet there. So there's quite a lot of extra reading there. So I'm just going to wind down now, and like I said, it would be a short live show, just with some updates there. We didn't have too many people drop by. Why, I don't know. It should be Saturday. Must be something special on TV is all I can say. People don't want to learn this stuff, they just want to keep in their fantasy. At least we know about flares now, and an International Space Station video transmissions. So when Steve Cambion says they turn off their cameras when they got a UFO, well, then now you can actually know how it works. You can look up the times and where the locations were, if you can find the information, and actually prove that it was out of range or in that blind spot where they've got to rotate it around. Else you just become a disinformation agent like the rest of the people out there, right? And a hypocrite. Anyway, gotta go. Good night all. I'll see you again next live whenever I can find the time to do it, and energy, of course. Alright, I'll keep it there. That's probably one of my shortest lives for a while.